All right, so topic one, let's get into customer information security and privacy notices. Now, Ray, I don't even know what to say about this one, so walk me through. Let's get started.
Well, there's a lot to unpack, right? So customer information security, we can talk about cybersecurity, we can talk about all the requirements, et cetera. We can talk about technology if you want to, about all the things for security. But really what I want to focus on is how we think about the information, how we think about the data. Back in the old days, we had fax machines. So the question was, if you have someone who faxes you something, you keep it on the fax machine, is that a good idea? No, it's not. But in concept, the point is you want to have a clean desk policy. You want to be able to make sure that information is where it should be as much as possible. In the old days, we had loan files. Now it's all technology, makes it easier.
True.
But that also means you got to watch your passwords, don't share it, so on and so forth. Lock your computers when you step away. So the point is you want to secure the information the best way you can. And again, it's not over-engineering it, not really hard. You know what it is. Again, don't share your passwords. If you do print something on a printer, pick it up, take it. If there are shredders, you got to use the shredder. So it's a good way to control the information to begin with. That's in your control. Yes, you have IT to handle a lot of the other things, and they should be, and you can always ask them if they're handling it and how they're handling it. But that's not what we're covering. We're talking more operationally, what can we do? It's more about just how you think about the information. It's customer information. I used to explain to people, look, I am not real thrilled if I had my 1003 or my documentation sitting on someone's desk with my social security number just sitting there. So sometimes we're consumers, right? Sometimes we're on the other side. And if you think about it that way, it's easier to understand. I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to lock it. I'm going to lock the doors, make sure things are secure enough. Don't over-engineer it. But it's just a matter of control the information because you can.
They talk about in customer information security and the cyber things. There's penetration testing. It's like, how easy was it? I walked behind Ray. He leaves his office. I open the door. Or you work from home, and maybe you're like, that's fine. Except I want to give you a warning. Is in 2018 there was a case in the Northwest where a couple that worked from home, well, their son decided to take the privacy information that he had gotten, was selling it on the dark web. And I mean, you got to be careful everywhere you are. And thinking it through that way. Now, in customer information security, that's one thing. Privacy notices, though. Like, let's talk about those a little bit because there's, hey, here's our information we collect on you. Here's what we're doing with the information. What else can we share that's like a cheat code with privacy notices?
So again, I think privacy notices, typically compliance operations will be in your document set, et cetera. Gramm-Leach-Bliley, you have to get your notices out. Certain states now require certain notices, but I think what's important is get the notices out. That's the compliance requirement. Again, operationally, that should be there. If you're in operations, you have to figure out which ones you need. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley, you're going to have California privacy notices. It's usually on the web, but it could be also printed. There's different versions of things. And yes, we have to comply with that. What I think is really important, and in the context of, again, customer information and privacy notices, which, as you mentioned, talks about what consumers now can do with their information. It used to be, we would just tell them we safeguard it and we're not going to share it. Now it's talking about, hey, if you want to ask us what information we have on you, you can. If you want us to delete any information, well, you're entitled to make that request. It's changed. So I think what's important to think about is we think differently about the information. Where we used to think that we want to keep the information as long as it's locked down, or I don't know, I put in a storage unit with a padlock behind it, whatever it was in the old days. But we'd secure the information. We can keep it as long as we needed to, litigation, sometimes 10 years, whatever. The shift is coming, I think, where now we have to look at how the consumers are going to be thinking about the information and the control that they have.
That's right.
So now it's not about, as long as we don't share it and we secure it, we're good. Now it's like, what do we need to do with it in the context of consumers asking us questions about it? And then even thinking in light of cybersecurity issues, why are we keeping it? Do we need it? So there's more of a trend now to think about, and I see this now when I talk to regulators, they ask you questions, it's almost like a trick question. What do you do with your information? How long do you keep it? It's like, long time, like we're supposed to, well, except when we're not supposed to. So it's kind of you gotta have to adjust your approach. But the point is that we have to start thinking about information that it belongs to the consumer. It's our own risk, if we don't need it, why do we still have it? again, I'm not suggesting we delete information. I'm not suggesting consumers have an absolute right to make you delete information. What I'm saying is we think about it differently insofar as information being present in our environment and maybe policies around what you want to do with that.
So each one of your companies will have a policy about this. This is part of the general operations policy guides, will be privacy notices and customer information security. There will be steps, regulation, oversight. There will be response protocol if there was a breach.
Correct.
And I think that's one of the things you were just leaning into a little bit. But when we keep data and information, and so when you think about this, one of the best things to do is think about me. Not me, but you. Like, flip that. Think personally, if my data was at that place, do I want it there? How long do I want it there? What reason do they have to hold on to it? Why does my dentist need to know my social security number, and how long should they have that? I mean, that's a good question, right? They're working on my teeth. I know they want to get paid, and they want a way to find me if I don't pay my bill. But once I pay my bill, why do they have to keep having it?
Right.
Why should they have my social? What's in it for them? And then if a breach happens, now in the mortgage industry and financial sectors, if there is a cyber breach, a breach of personal information data leak, now HUD has to be notified within, I believe it's 72 hours. It might be even faster.
Yeah.
Outside of the generalized notifications, and they're going to come inside your business, broker, retail lender, bank, it doesn't matter. They're going to show up. They're going to say, well, what were you doing to protect it? How can we, like, there are so many things that go into play here.
Agreed. And like anything else in managing risk, you want to be able to show that we did everything we possibly could. We had the right technology in place. We trained people on customer information and privacy. So we took controls. Maybe it was locking the doors. Maybe again we have computers. We have technology that tells us we change passwords every 90 days, which is hard for somebody like me because you got to remember those all the time.
Yep.
So you want to have the best story you can to say we protected the information best we can. And in fact, I'll tell you, when doing that, while there might be some form of a breach, the fact that we actually had things in place has saved us before because there were other things in place, other firewalls, other passwords, whatever it was that controlled. So I think it's worth the investment to at least think about customer information. And I would say that starts from anyone from on the front line, the loan officer, all the way down to, of course, your IT department and the technology behind it.
Customer information security and privacy notices are one of the things that you will never see go away. They will consistently and continually become a little bit more important, especially as we get into some biometric data that we keep on customers for any kind of, I'm just, like my brain absolutely goes crazy when I start thinking about the phone apps, and as phone apps for applications come up and they're like, do you want to unlock this with your face? I'm like, sure, as a user, sure I do. I don't stop and think about for a second, who kept that data? Was it my phone telling the app that it could open, or is there some sort of like physical anyway, you can see where that goes really far down the field. And the takeaway for an annual compliance training topic on privacy and customer information security is this: put yourself in that seat. Think about where you want your data to be found. If you're just like, I trust me, I trust my team, that's not a great idea. Always take the steps. Ray is fond of saying, if you want to be compliant, at least look like it.
Yep. Exactly, and that's what actually it's information really where it comes down to. It's like, look like it. Don't have everything. Don't have a mess. I'm just going to tell you. Don't put your password on a Post-it note. Certain things you want to do that when you come in, people have confidence. I've done that with regulators recently who have come into the shops and say, maybe we have concerns with borrower information, and I challenge them, walk through, grab some borrower information. I dare you. You can't. It's technology based. People know their passwords. Things, there's IT support and protections, so they really can't. Which is a good way to exercise if you think you have control.
I love it. All right, that's the end of that topic. Now you're going to get little quizzes on these as we move through, because that's actually part of just proving you've taken the course. They're not overly cumbersome, so don't fret. Take the quiz, come back. Let's talk about fair lending in the next module.